Hello everybody, thank you for coming to take a look at what I've been making. I've just completed Mrs Cogs' complete journal course, and in that course I learnt how to make the mini journals and also to make the full-size journal. So I'll take you on a flip through both of them. The mini journal measures about 4¼ tall and about 3 inches wide, and the spine's about 2½ inches. And the full-size journal, that measures, it's about 9 inches tall, 5 inches wide, and that has a 2-inch spine. So if we take a look through the full-size one first, the course was lovely to follow, really easy to access. The instructions were very clear, and I had a whale of a time doing it. I really enjoyed it. Different as well because it's not the style of journal that I would normally make. So on the end there I've put a tassel, and it's fabric hardcover. The course comes with, this image is actually from a book that I had. I tried not to make my journals the same as Mrs Cogs, using the same images that she had used from her kit, which I found really difficult because I'd looked at hers to start with, and obviously she shows you hers as she's going through the tutorial, so it was in my mind all the time, so I tried to be careful not to do it exactly the same. So that was an image from the book that I used. There, so opening up, there's 4 signatures in here, and it is quite chunky. I think there are about 224 pages in this one. So in the front there's an image. All of these images are from Mrs Cogs from the Bear Kit, and you get those with the course. So the ticket there says the story begins, and there's a little ticket there, so it says hello precious, and there it says, remember when I said Teddy can't sleep without me? Well, the truth is I can't sleep without Teddy. And there's the image there of the little girl sleeping. So these journals in the style of Mrs Cog, they have a lot of room to journal in. So that's a book page from a Winnie the Pooh book that I have. So some stamping as you go through it. I did have a couple of teddy bear books that I took these pages from. And this is an image from the book that I had. I made some little cards to go in it. And the leftover images from Mrs Cog are clipped in, so they can be put anywhere that you want inside the journal. And the paper clips, some of them are actual teddy bears. Hope you can see that. There's a little teddy bear there as well. And again, that's a card that I've made with an image from the book that I had. A little fact there about teddy bears. And again, another book page there, folds out. So the course, I enjoyed it. As I say, the instructions were easy to follow. I don't have a laser printer, I have an inkjet printer. So I had to print, I tea-dyed my pages first, and the centres there, look, it's little faces of teddy bears. I tea-dyed my papers first and then put them through my inkjet printer. It turned out fine, it worked well, I was pleased with the results. That says Bears of the World on that one. The lace on the page there, and that's a piece of Tim Holtz paper there. The kit as well, it comes with the quotes ready for you to use. So it comes with them. The prints are included in the course so that you can. It makes it easy because it's not. Sometimes it's quite difficult if you're computer challenged like myself. That one little card there says cuddle. So it was a case of just print out the pages and follow the instructions in the course. And she gives you lots of different varieties of different ways that you can do it, different papers that you can use to complement it. And that says friend on there. And then in there it says hugs. I found it quite difficult choosing where to put the trim on the edge of the pages. I think I got a little bit carried away, but the end result, I've been really pleased with it. Again, it repeats itself. I've made these cards all the way through to go into the little pages and the stenciling. So you can see there's lots and lots of room to journal, and there's a little poem there about bears. And that's just a postcard that I found in my box that I had, so that went in. So there's lots of room in this to make it your own. Little bear tag there. And again in the centre there's little faces of the bears. And they were punched out of the pages of the bear book that I had. It says Fuzzy. I would highly recommend the course to anybody who wants to learn how to make a hardcover book, and definitely in the style of Mrs Cog. I love the way that she uses the quotes. Oops, ping! How the way that she uses all the quotes. It must take her ages to find them and to think of them. And again, a page out of Pooh. And the images, she includes this kit, her teddy bear kit, in the course as well. So you don't have to get that separately. Again, a little teddy bear clip. So there's lots of images to choose from. It says Snuggle. The little cards in there again. I love this image. I put Playmate at the bottom. And this actually looks very much like my husband's bear that he had as a little boy. He does have both his eyes, but they are a little bit loose and he needs new pads fitting. And again in the centre, the little bear faces. It says Old Bear. Again, the card. You can see those. More Pooh Bear. I think the hardest part for me was taking the time with my printer to print everything on papers that I had already tea dyed, because it is a little bit temperamental. Maybe one day I'll invest on an inkjet laser printer so that you can tea dye your papers afterwards. It must be so much easier. So that was my challenge. And I tried to pick these papers to be quite neutral. I didn't want them to distract from the actual images of the bears. And again, that's a postcard that I had. And I've tucked it on there, look. Silly me. There we go. So as I said, altogether, I think there's about over 220 pages in here, front and back. So lots of room to add bits and pieces for yourself, lots of room to journal in. And it's a nice size, it's not over big. Precious Teddy there. And it does lay nice and flat, which I like, so it is quite easy to journal in as well. Some information on the back of there about teddies and when they were developed. And then in the back, I put a lace pocket on the card and put a tag in there with a large picture of a teddy on. So the fabric that I've used is brown. It has little bits of blue and the lighter brown in it as well. Okay, so that's the large size teddy. And then the small size teddy, the Teddy Mini, this is there's 4 signatures in this one again, and I think there's about over 250, about 256 pages. So again, that one comes off. And this, when it opens, it's like a little accordion when it opens up. So again, you see that again in the front there. That one's not a pocket. That says the teddy bears. And again, I've used some of the Pooh Bear pages in here. And again, the images. Mrs Cog very kindly downsized this for you so that it's ready for you again. For the mini, you can just print it out, cut the papers to the size, and you're good to go. And again, the instructions on how to make the mini, very clear. I couldn't resist using the pages from Winnie the Pooh. And again, that's Best Friends there. That's just one of the images from the bear book that I had. Again, a little card there with a teddy on. Old bear. And again, in the middle, I've used the images of the little teddies. So I think this says Stipe on there, which is I was going to say a breed of bear. It is a breed of stuffed bears. So as I say, the course, it's easy to follow, and you can pick it up and put it down. It's online, so you can work through it at your own speed. You can stop it, start it, go back to the beginning. I actually watched it through 2 or 3 times before I started, just to make sure that I had everything that I needed, that I didn't feel rushed at any time. I could just stop the video. I actually printed the papers just before Christmas, and then I put it to one side because Christmas came. But once I got going on it, I think it actually took me longer to do this mini journal, only because I haven't done one this size before. So that was a challenge to me, but I think the way it turned out, I'm really pleased. And again, the extra cards that I didn't use sewing onto the pages, they can be put in and used anywhere. And again, it has a lot of pages on here that you can add your own pictures and photos, some little thoughts. There's a little pocket there. Again, in the centre of that one, little teddy faces. Again, another pocket there. A little fabric flap on that one with the bears, and I think those rabbits are looking at the bears. I found it quite hard not to put any envelopes, flips, pockets, tucks that I would usually make and put into a journal. So in that respect, it was quicker to make this, but because it was a style of journal that I'd not made before, I think it took me just as long. And I wanted to get it right. I wanted it to look right. Very pleased how it turned out. And it's actually more manageable than I thought. I thought a mini journal would be difficult to actually use, but I think this actually would be very easy to use, to have it stood on your desk or on your shelf and just pull it down and put your photos in it and your little memories in it. Or big memories if you have big memories. So again, lots of space in this one to journal. This is Dream there. Couldn't resist adding the bubble trim. I do like bubble trim. A little pocket there. Piglet in bed. You can't beat Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. And then the last signature. Nice image there of Teddy. The book that I had lots of little pictures in, so they went really well in here, and I thought that they complemented the kit from Mrs Cog very nicely as well. It says Snuggle. And the quotes in the small book are the same as the ones in the large book, but they were just sides down. If I was doing it myself, I don't think I would know how to make them this small. I'm not that IT literate, so I don't know that I would be able to, sorry, another little flip there with the teddy bear fabric, to make a small journal myself with quotes on. I might give it a go, but I might need some help with the IT part. A couple of little tags in there. It says Precious. And then in the back, Mrs Cog actually used this image as well on the back, but because it's a large image, this one, it wouldn't fit anywhere else in the journal. So I used it on the back page, and I've used it as a little pocket, and I've put Teddy on there as well. So they are my two. That one wants to just open on its own. They are my two journals that I've made using the Mrs Cog tutorial. I will put a link below to that, so that if any of you would like to take a look and like to register yourselves, it's well worth doing, and I do hope that you like the results that I got. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.